For me, I think the biggest thing that football taught me was how to overcome adversity.
At some point in your life, you're going to have some tough times.
You have to have that next play mentality.
That cohesiveness and that working together, that's really something special that you can't get in a lot of other areas.
When you practice that and you live that in other phases of your life, it becomes second nature because all you know how to do is fight.
It's not an easy game. If it were easy, everyone would do it.
You start to appreciate the smaller contributions that people make. You don't just look at the big one because you knew it took 6 or 7 other guys who are unsung.
And you can't take shortcuts and be successful.
Doing what they do to make it possible for the guy getting the press clippings or whatever it might be.
In this game, whether it's as a coach or a player.
So I would certainly say that you definitely got a very quick lesson in how to overcome adversity playing football.
Talking Ball with the Czar. I'm Emery Hunt, the Czar of the Playbook, here on the campus of Cheyney University with head football coach Chris Roulhac. Coach, appreciate you taking time.
Thank you. Appreciate you coming.
I was the color commentator on that classic game between Lincoln and you guys last season. The kickoff college football season was a Friday night, I remember.
Yep.
And it was an amazing game. You guys broke that losing streak. And it was just so impressive to see the guys out there on the field excited. See you excited after the game. How important was that victory for you personally and for this program?
Well, I think it was really good for the program. This is the second time that I've broken a losing streak. When I was here in '92, we broke another losing streak, and this was even longer. So it was really a great game for us to win and to do it against our arch rival. And in the fashion that we won it, over time, you couldn't ask for anything better than that.
What was the reaction of the team afterwards, moving forward for the rest of the season? Was that like what they needed to get things rolling in the right direction?
Well, I think that we needed that not only to break the losing streak, but to get some confidence in ourselves that, okay, we can play. We're a pretty good football team, and we can play with people. So that was a confidence builder for us.
And we talked about this off camera, but the rivalry game, this was the battle of the first.
Yes.
How significant is that rivalry in the landscape of college football?
Well, they think they're the first, but we are actually the first HBCU. So we go back and forth all year with them and us and the other sports. So it's a really big game for us, and we hope to continue it in the future.
Now, you've coached all across the board, high school football, Patriot League, Ivy League, and the CFL. How have each and every one of those experiences sort of formulated your philosophy and approach as a head coach?
Well, I think having those experiences has really helped me understand what needs to be done in terms of the X's and O's, recruiting, the things at the university, because at each one of those stops you always pick up something. And that has really helped me to understand what needs to be done.
Now, what is that coaching philosophy of yours?
Well, the first thing I want to do is to make sure the kids graduate. That's always been my motto, and every place I've been, you talk about those different schools, they're all academic schools. And so their number one goal is to make sure people graduate. So we want to make sure that all of our guys who come through our program graduate, go out to be productive citizens.
Now, you guys just finished spring ball. What were some of your key takeaways from spring that gives you confidence moving forward to 2017?
Well, we were able to really move the ball offensively. Now, we went to a new type offense, and so we were able to throw the ball well, run it well, and we think going forward, if we add some new pieces with the recruiting process, that we should have a pretty good season.
This is your second stint as head coach here at Cheyney. A lot of people believe that it's easy to come in and build a program. You just get hired, and next thing you know, you win a championship. So what actually goes into building a football program?
There's so many aspects of trying to build a program. I think it all starts with the administration. The administration has to want you to be good and provide you with what you need in order to be successful. So far, we've had good support from the administration. Obviously, some things that they can't give us that we really need, but we are not allowing that to dictate to us what we can and cannot do. We're just looking at the X's and O's, the recruiting process, the academic process, things that we can control to make sure we're successful.
And you look at the fact that this is a historic university, a HBCU. There's a lot of history here. We just see it walking down the halls. How significant is this program, and how significant is HBCU football in the global sense of college football in itself?
Well, I look at it, when I was coming out of school, you couldn't go to other places. So you had to go to HBCU if you were a significant football player. And so HBCU football has given guys an opportunity not only to play, but to go to that next level. Back in the 60s and 70s, a lot of the pro guys came from HBCUs. Not as much today, but HBCUs have played a great role and still continue to play a great role in giving guys an opportunity to play.
And the fact that you've been coaching for a very long time shows that you have a ton of passion and a ton of love for the game. What is it about the game of football you love the most?
Well, I guess I got it from my father. My father was a coach, an athletic director at Albany State in Georgia. So I grew up around the field and running around and on the buses and all that kind of stuff. So it just kind of stuck with me. And as I became an adult, decided that, hey, this is what I want to do.
And we know that it also involves teaching. Out there on the field, coaches are teachers. You know, what are some of the lessons that you're trying to share with your players today that they're going to get tomorrow, probably?
Well, I tell my coaches that field is your classroom. So we are teaching, and we are teaching life lessons that sometimes in life you're going to get knocked down, and you have to persevere. And I always talk about, okay, what are you going to do when you're at a job and your boss doesn't like you? Can you quit? No, because there's people at the house dependent upon you to provide for them. Yes, you can always look for another job, but you better keep that job until you're able to find one. Persevere, make sure that you're taking care of your business and take care of your families.
With the access of the internet, everyone is on television or some sort of streaming device, and students have a ton of options. Why would a student athlete choose Cheyney University?
Well, when I talk to parents, I tell them, if your son comes to Cheyney, he's going to graduate. And a lot of our kids are first generation students. So their parents, have faith that, okay, I'm going to make sure that happens. And we try to include them in the process. If their son is not doing what he's supposed to do in the classroom, we call them on the phone and let them know that. So the number one thing is that you come to Cheyney, you're coming to get an education. And if you play some good football, that's icing on the cake.
Well, Coach, we definitely wish you the best luck this season and moving forward, especially in the Battle of the First, and at the end of the season, you guys also play in the Turkey Day Classic. Can you talk about that for a minute before we get out of here?
Well, it's exciting because when I was in school at Albany State, Georgia, we used to play Alabama State all the time. So to go back and to play against them in a Turkey Day Classic, and I understand it's a new stadium on their campus, so it's going to be exciting for me to go back and our kids. I mean, this is a great trip for them. A lot of them have never been out of the state in terms of where they play, because we play in our Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference, so it'll be an exciting trip, and we look forward to it.
Well, we look forward to watching this year, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you.